Hello everyone and welcome to Mimo. Today we are going to learn and discuss about how to fill all the details in the residence verification form. For example, RBL's residence verification form has been shown here. This form covers most of the information needed for the residence verification. Some other companies' verification form might have some extra or less fields in their forms, but most of the general information are being covered here. Now we will go through all the fields in detail and discuss them one by one. The first is flow type, which is positive here. That means the FDO has reached the address successfully and has met the person for verifying the details. Rest all the fields till applicant contact number will be pre-filled by default. Now following is the information obtained from applicant or any person met at the address. Now before filling anything in the asked fields below, remember one thing. Whatever choices for the options the FDO will make, those choices would change some of the below mentioned fields accordingly. Like for example, here it is asked person contacted at provided address, applicant or other person. Like applicant, if the FDO meets the applicant himself for the verification, then he will select applicant in contacted person. That means the person contacted for the verification. And if he meets some other person at the residence for the verification, then he will select other person. And as soon as he will be selecting other person, name of person met, that means the name of the person whom he will be meeting for the verification, that field appears. This is done so that no irrelevant or incorrect information would be filled during verification. Also, always fill the genuine details with full attention and do not select any irrelevant answer. For example, when we go to this field, relationship of the person met with applicant, that means the person from whom the FDO will be verifying the details, that person's relation with the applicant. If the FDO meets the person himself, that means the applicant himself for the verification, then he will select self. Or if he meets some other person, as we have selected above, other person, if he meets some other person, then he will select the appropriate option from the given options. Now here, if the FDO has selected other person and in relationship he will select self, that means the applicant himself, then it is wrong. These irrelevant information will affect the quality of reports and the FDO could be either asked to revisit or charged with penalty. Now in relationship, spouse means the better half of the applicant, sibling means the brothers or sisters of the applicant, and tenant means the person to whom the applicant has given his house on rent. Okay. Now duration of stay in years. In this, the FDO needs to ask the time period since when the applicant is living at that address, and accordingly he will select the appropriate answer. Less than 1 year, if the applicant is living at that address less than 1 year, like if he is living since 8 months or 9 months, then less than 1 year. More than 1 year, if he is living more than 1 year, like if he is living since 12 months or 13 months, 14 months, then more than 1 year, and so on, like more than 3 years and more than 5 years accordingly. Residence ownership status means whether the residence is owned by the applicant or not. In this, all these options will be given here. Self-owned if the residence is owned by the applicant himself, and if it is not, then the FDO will select the appropriate option from the given options. Government allotted means if the government has allotted some place to the applicant to live. Company provided if the company the applicant works in has provided him the place to live. And if it is some other residence, then the FDO will select others, and then he has to write those details in other fields. Like if residing ownership status is others, please enter the details. Here the FDO needs to write the details of others. Now applicant's marital status, the marital status of the applicant, whether he is unmarried, married, divorced, or so on. And not confirmed, if it is not confirmed, Now comes carpet area in square feet. That simply means size of the residence in square feet. In this field, the FDO could select the appropriate option as per their observation, or they can even ask they can even ask the applicant or the other person from whom they will be verifying the details about the area coverage of the residence, like less than 150 square feet. If the residence is like 130 square feet, 140 square feet accordingly, then the FDO will select less than 150 square feet. And if it is the residence is between 150 to 250 square feet, then 150 to 250 square feet, and like so on. The FDO needs to select the appropriate and most suitable option according to their observation, their understanding, or if they are not able to find out the appropriate options, or they are not able to recognize the appropriate size of the residence, then they can ask the person contacted. Then comes the type of residence. It means what type of the residence it is in which the applicant is living. Whether it is independent house, that means it is the owned house of the applicant independently. Whether he is living in flat, apartment, chawl, and the options given below. And the other appropriate options like flat, apartment, whether he lives in a chawl, janta flat, bidda floor, etc. And if the FDO does not find the appropriate option, then if he selects others, then type of residence if others, he will write the details here regarding the type of residence of the applicant. Then comes locality of the residence. What is the locality of the residence in which the applicant lives? Like if he lives in a posh locality, old town, city locality, village, slum, and other options. And if it is not confirmed, then select not confirmed. Now comes construction of the house. That means the FDO needs to observe how is the house constructed, and he will select the appropriate options from the drop down. Pakka means the house is made with bricks and plastered properly. Semi-pakka means if the house is constructed with bricks but is not plastered. A basta roof, cement sheet roof, if the house contains just the cement sheet roof. Address ID proof shown. That means whether the applicant or the person contacted for the verification has shown the ID proof, address proof documents or not. If yes, then name of the document shown, address proof, ID proof document not shown. The FDO needs to select the proper option, and then if yes, upload the images of the document seen, maximum 4. Then the FDO needs to take the picture of the documents of ID proof, address proof, and he has to upload it here. Now overall verification status, positive or negative. Positive means if all the documents and all the verification is being properly done, and if all the information needed is properly taken by the FDO from the applicant or the other person. If all the things which are required are being collected successfully as documents or details, then positive. And if positive, then comments if positive. And then the FDO needs to select the appropriate comment. Verified detail with applicant, verified details with family members, or any other comment. And if the comment is not there, which the FDO needs to write, then others. Then positive comment, it's others, give detail. Okay. The FDO needs to give details in the positive comments when the verification is positively done. Overall verification status will be selected as refer when the FDO finds that the applicant is not living at his own house and living at some other place, like stays with roommate, given address under renovation, and stays with relatives. And if it is something else that the FDO has noticed, then he will select others. and refer comment, and in refer comment he will write that detail. Now the extra information. In extra information, the FDO will need to fill any extra information about the applicant or the residence. If he finds no extra information to be given, then he should not write NA, no, or NC. He should not write anything. Only if the FDO has some extra information, he should write it here. Otherwise, he should be leaving it blank. Do not write NA, no, or NC. Okay? Upload images of house from outside. Here, the FDO needs to take the photographs of the residence from the outside, which should definitely contain the house gate and the house nameplate. Maximum 3 photos with different angles, and the first photos should be very clear and zoomed in. Now, upload images of locality and landmark. The FDO needs to take the photograph of the nearest landmark. Landmark is any famous place or location nearby. For example, nearby location shop board containing the information of the place, like pin code or road name. Okay, maximum 3 with different angles. So this was the brief discussion of the residence verification form. Thank you and have a great day ahead.